Welcome to our live coverage of the biggest race being run in Australia today, the Group 1 Cadbury Australian Guineas at Flemington Racecourse in Melbourne. And the horse in mid-screen at the moment in the white jacket with the red star is the Sydney-trained Iron Horse, trained by Gai Waterhouse and ridden by Shane Dye. Now, this horse today is running for underprivileged children because he's raced by the Lone Star Syndicate, and horses raced by that syndicate contribute 50% of their winning prize money direct to the Variety Club of Australia, one of the worthiest charities in the world. In fact, it is a worldwide charity organisation, as you're probably aware. So far, $92,000 has been earned by the Lone Star horses in Australia, but never before has a horse raced for so much money in one single event for the Variety Club. If he happens to win, a total of $113,000 will go straight into the coffers to assist underprivileged children all over the nation. Shane Dye is the jockey. I've got my fingers crossed. Cross yours too, as we pick up our commentator, John Russell.
Tuscany Fly coming in with Stork. Faience Video Prince. Peep on the Sly. Video Prince moves in. Faience comes up. Followed by Scenic Royale. Scenic Royale coming in. Moving in well. Scenic Royale, Flying Spur, Mill Brave. And Peep on the Sly to move up. Mad Hatter on the inside. El Quahira's son. Scenic Royale goes in. Celius is ready. Mill Brave moves in. Thank you, Brendan. One to move in for the Guineas. That's Mill Brave. Celius the favourite, the only filly in the race. And they're all set to go. Select field here. 1,600 metres, the Cadbury Australian Guineas. Ready, and they're racing. Good start too. Mad Hatter on the inside, the first to jump out from El Quahira's son. And Tuscany Fly batted away very quickly also up on the outside, going up fast there around the outside. Flying Spur towards the leader, being followed by Video Prince, and just in behind them is Celius. A length further back is Stork, dropping back along the inside. Iron Horse being followed by Scenic Royale, and Mill Brave's a bit further away. Peep on the Sly is third last over on the outside of Principality, and dropping out to be a long last Elias Faience. Down the side of the track they race, and Celius on the outside has put ahead in front here along the back from Tuscany Flyer. Third then is Flying Spur, a length further back to Mad Hatter on the rails, followed by Video Prince. Over on the inside, El Quahira's son in company with Stalker. They're followed closely around the outside, Mill Brave, Scenic Royale further back with Iron Horse between horses. Over on the inside, Principality as they come up towards the home turn. Next to last, Peep on the Sly, and Faience is last of all. Here's a move. We're going fast on the outside now. Flying Spur has taken up the running as they round the home turn, and Flying Spur the leader. Half a length to Video Prince. In behind them, Celius at the 600. A length and a half further back is Mad Hatter, followed by Stork making up ground. Tuscany Flyer at the head of the others, and they're followed after a gap by Mad Hatter. Principality well back at the 450. Flying Spur tackled by Celius the centre. Down the outside, Video Prince followed by Stork, who's running on pretty well. Celius has taken the lead with about 300 metres left to go from Video Prince, who's coming at it. Video Prince puts his head in front. Celius fights back, and so does Flying Spur on the inside. Video Prince, Celius, Flying Spur fighting back strongly on the inside, has again got to a narrow lead. Celius, Flying Spur, they're locked together. Flying Spur wins it by a hit to Celius. Video Prince is third, and a great Guineas. Fourth home behind them, Stork, Peep on the Sly, Mad Hatter, Iron Horse. Further back, El Quahira's son, Scenic Royale. And they were followed next home in the event there by Faience. One of the tail enders dropping back with Tuscany Flyer. And one of the last to finish is Mill Brave.
On. Tonight, 9:30, a special...
And again, we're live at Flemington Racecourse in Melbourne for the Blamey Stakes. This is the co-feature race of the day. Unfortunately, the field has fallen away. There were only 6 final acceptors to begin with, one scratching Doremus, who's got a foot problem, leaving only 5 to run. The mare, that was just lucky enough to receive an affectionate pat from her jockey, Patrick Payne, is Starstruck. And there's a very good story about that mare. She was originally trained by Gai Waterhouse, and was originally owned by Helen Dalton, the lady that part owns Nothing Like a Dane. Starstruck didn't show a great deal in her early preparations, and she was sold to Western Australian interests for $10,000. She has now won very close to $1 million. So that's one that got away, as they say in the fishing game. Starstruck, a bonny little mare from WA, trained by Mrs. Kay Miller, wife of the former top jockey John Miller, who won a Melbourne Cup on Galilee. Patrick Payne rides Starstruck today, and she just happens to be the only mare in the race. Paris Lane is an interesting runner. He carries the number 2 saddlecloth. He won the Caulfield Cup in 1994 and then finished second in the Melbourne Cup of the same year. That's him there, dark blue, yellow armbands, yellow cap. In similar colours is Coachwood, dark blue, white armbands, white cap. Coachwood is being held by the clerk of the course. Racer's Edge has pale green colours. We can't see him at the moment. He upset all of the good horses, all of the stars in the Orr Stakes last Saturday at Sandown, and he's expected to be very hard to beat again today. If you look for the right of the screen, you'll see Racer's Edge in pale green colours start to move into view. But Paris Lane is the first one to go into the gates. Your commentator for the event is John Russell, and John's ready for his call of the Group 2 Blamey Stakes.
Starstruck is ready. Racer's Edge moves in, followed by Coachwood. Royal Blue on the inside. Coachwood coming along. Starstruck last to go up. Soon be ready. Starstruck is in. 5 runners in the Blamey. They're set. Stand by for a start in the Blamey Stakes. Field of 5. They're racing. Royal Blue dwelt slightly, didn't lose a great deal of ground, and Racer's Edge began well. And over on the outside, Coachwood just in behind them, followed by Paris Lane, settling second last. And Starstruck, the mare from Western Australia, has dropped back to the tail of the field, along past the 1400 metre mark, and the outside are in charge now. Royal Blue, a length and a half. Racer's Edge over on the inside of Coachwood, a length and a half further back as Paris Lane, and 2 lengths away at the back of the field is Starstruck. An even pace running down past the 1200, and Royal Blue bowling along about a little over a length in advance of Racer's Edge with the inside running. A neck away the outer is Coachwood, a length and a half to Paris Lane, and 2.5 lengths further back at the tail of the field, Starstruck. At the 1,000 metre mark, little or no change now, although Coachwood has sprinted up on the outside, and Coachwood has gone to the front here from Royal Blue as they come down the side at the 900. A length away third to Racer's Edge, a length and a half to Paris Lane, and 2 lengths away at the back of the field, still Starstruck. Coming up in the direction of the home turn, 700 metres left to go, and Coachwood racing about 2 off the fence, the leader from Royal Blue. Racer's Edge just in behind them. Paris Lane is making some ground, and so is Starstruck as they round the home turn, and they straighten up with 500 metres left to go. Royal Blue again on level terms with Coachwood. Racer's Edge looking for the way out, disappointed for a run when Paris Lane went around him, and Starstruck is coming down the outside with a very strong run, and she's going like a winner, I'd say. Starstruck coming to the 300 metre mark. Racer's Edge has got nowhere to go, and Starstruck has quickly ambled up on the outside into double wraps to hit the front here. In second place, Paris Lane, and here comes Racer's Edge now unwinding a run. Starstruck is the leader. Racer's Edge on the outside, coming at Starstruck. Starstruck, Racer's Edge, they hit in a bobbing finish. Starstruck, Racer's Edge, very tight. Third, Paris Lane, followed by Royal Blue, and last, Coachwood.
Win.
Live at Rosehill Gardens in Sydney for the running of the Truscott's Toyota Frank Underwood Cup. As you recall, there was a very close finish in the Blamey Stakes at Flemington a short time ago, and the horse on the outside got up to win in the very last stride. Racer's Edge over the mare Starstruck. Racer's Edge got up by a nose over Starstruck and would have been something beaten had he not won, because he got caught in that pocket at a vital stage, and his rider Malcolm Pay breathed a sigh of relief, I'd imagine, when the number went into the frame. Now they're coming into line quickly here. Going up is Ripper. Oh, his trouble. One of these Lute Song's rider was out of the saddle, and the mare found the gap between the starting gates and the outside fence, and she tried to take off. Clerk of the course in hot pursuit. Lute Song without the rider got away from the gateman, and she raced between the starting stalls and the outside fence. The clerks of the course, however, anticipated that she was going to do that, and there are 2 of them now, 1 on either side, and they've got her. A good performance by the 2 clerks of the course, who were able to close in on little Lute Song before that mare got away. She's travelled about 300 metres as it is, and she'll have to be returned to the starting point now. She's a funny little thing, Lute Song. She's trained by Etne Petoskey at Hawkesbury, although most of her work is done on a big open property, and I'll bet she thought she was at home when she saw that open space. She's a cranky little mare too. Some days she has the ears back, and you can tell she doesn't even want to be here. And now that she's had this little bit of a rough up by the clerks of the course, she's likely to do anything in the race. You'd never know. Well, they're down the back straight now, past the 1,200 metres mark. And they've just got her under control. Took them a long while to stop her. Now, it took them a long time before they were able to bring Lute Song under control. She's out at 4:12. She's out, right. They're not going to persevere. Lute Song is a late scratching. Taken out at 12 minutes after 4 by order of the stewards. And we'll have an announcement about betting after the race. Lute Song has been taken out probably to avoid an unnecessarily long delay because she has gone a long way down the back straight. And we're just waiting for the clerks of the course and Lute Song to clear the course proper before they'll be able to dispatch the runners in the Truscott's Toyota Frank Underwood Cup. Yes, the stewards have the power to order a late scratching if they believe there's going to be an unnecessarily long delay. And I think that's, you'll find that's the reason here. It would have taken ages to get this mare back to the starting point. The vet would have needed to have a look at her, and it could have taken anything up to 4 or 5 minutes, and that's just not on, with TAB betting happening all over Australia. Now, Lute Song out, an announcement about betting later, and we should have the others underway shortly as soon as that mare is taken off the track. And I don't know why they can't get her off the track. Bridle disappeared, has it? The bridle apparently had become detached from Lute Song, and the clerks of the course had to reattach the bridle. That was the reason for the delay. Now, the starter down here, Billy Dale, is just waiting for the signal to climb onto his rostrum and release the field at long last in the Truscott's Toyota Frank Underwood Cup. 2,000 metres. We'll have them on their way shortly. Chris Muntz, the rider of Lute Song, was out of the saddle. They were simply trying to position the mare riderless, and the gateman lost his grip, and away she went. And there's a gap of some 10 or 15 metres between the starting gates and the outside section of the course proper. She found that gap like a halfback, and away she went. Now, where is the starter and what's causing the trouble now? Because Lute Song is virtually out of the way. Never a dull moment in this business. It's a business of valleys and peaks and highs and lows, the old racing game. The unpredictability factor, I think, is the thing that keeps everybody going. You never know what's around the corner. Even an odd 100-to-1 winner. Well, I can see the starter's rostrum, but I can't see the starter. So they must be waiting for the clerks of the course and Lute Song to completely clear the course proper here. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's understandable. Now, the clerks of the course, I see the reason for the delay here. The clerks of the course were not informed of the late scratching, and they were bringing Lute Song back towards the starting gates, and they've now been informed that she's not running, and they'll take her up into the 1,500-metre chute. Yes, Lute Song is being taken up into the 1,500 chute out of the way, so they can now let this field go in the Truscott's Toyota Frank Underwood Cup. The clerks of the course simply didn't know that the mare was a late scratching. Now, Duamar is the inside runner, and they're off and running at long last. The others came out in a pretty good line, with the exception of Fewer Chosen, who looked to be a little bit flat-footed. First out, and going straight to the lead is Duamar. Mr. Moore on the outside. Let Me Pass is prominent. Marathon settles in a good spot, and Fewer Chosen is improving, but is out fairly deep in the run to the first turn. Ripper is also tracking wide, and Carla Chief is back at the tail to the 1,600 mark. Now, Mr. Moore's keen to go faster, but the rider's restraining him, and the horse is a bit cranky on it. He's giving the tail a good old swish as they swing into the back straight. He says, "Let me run, please." Mr. Moore about a neck on Fewer Chosen on the outside as they go to the 1,400 mark. About 2 lengths away, Duamar, followed by Let Me Pass, a length away, Marathon, a length to Carla Chief, and Ripper is last as they head down the back to the 1,300 mark. Mr. Moore allowed a bit more rain at the 1,200, led by a length to Fewer Chosen, who's having his first run since the Melbourne Cup. 2 lengths away, Duamar on the outside of Let Me Pass, and then Marathon on the outside of Carla Chief, and a length away, Ripper, as they go to the top turn at the 1,000, and it's Mr. Moore, the leader. Showed the way by a half length to Fewer Chosen, a length and a half to Duamar on the outside of Let Me Pass, followed by Marathon on the outside of Carla Chief, and a length away last is Ripper, and they've gone at a pretty leisurely pace so far. 700 out, Mr. Moore, the leader over Fewer Chosen. There's a move, Duamar taking off now. Duamar's rider not happy with the pace, has raced up now to put the pressure on Mr. Moore, and they are sprinting. They've kicked away about 4 lengths to Fewer Chosen, who was flat-footed and couldn't go with them, and then Marathon, followed by Carla Chief, Ripper, and Let Me Pass being checked off the heels of a horse in front. Mr. Moore and Duamar, they're well clear as they turn for home over Marathon, running on, followed by Carla Chief in the green colours. He's the one starting to stoke up Carla Chief. He's going to be hard to beat. It's Mr. Moore, Duamar, Carla Chief on the outside, coming at them strongly. Carla Chief, Duamar, Mr. Moore. Carla Chief gives them the go-by at the 100 mark, and it's all Carla Chief. He's racing away and he's going to bolt in. Carla Chief makes it a treble for Johnny Marshall. Mr. Moore got second. Duamar is third. Then Let Me Pass, followed by Marathon and Ripper, and Fewer Chosen. First up is last to greet the judge.